To begin the online residency verification process, you will have to log in using your Infinite Campus parent portal. If you do not have one, you can find the information on how to sign up for one on the Enrollment and Residency Verification page on the Lockport Township High School website under District. Once you've entered your username and password, you will be logged into your campus portal. On the left-hand side in the lower part of the column, you will see the link for the online residency verification. Go ahead and click on this link to begin the process. Once you've begun, you'll notice the logos for both Lockport Township High School and District 91 Middle School, since you can do the online residency verification for both campuses here. As you scroll down, you'll see the registrar information for both campuses, as well as any students who you have to verify. To begin the process, you can click on the button that says "Click here to begin." The first part of this process is verifying you are who you say you are and that you are able to complete this application. You'll begin by typing in your full name and then using your mouse to sign the lower line. When you've completed, press Submit, and you'll be brought to the next menu. To begin this process, you will have to select which schools you'll be completing online residency verification for. Since we have students in both schools, we'll select both schools from the checklist. Depending on which school you select depends on which menus appear below. So for instance, we will click on D91 and Lockport High School D205. When you click on D205, you'll have to verify if your residency has changed. For this purpose of the menu, we'll say yes. If yours hasn't, you can say no and press next. Since our residency has changed, we're going to have some extra menus that appear below. So pressing next will take us through them. First up is the home phone number, which you can verify is correct, and if not, you can make changes as needed. Here's where the home address is changed. We'll need to place a check mark in the box here to change our address. First being, when did the address change? You can use the drop down to select a date from the calendar or enter the date if you know it. Now we'll need the new address. Here you can enter the street number, address, etc. You will see some autocomplete options below, so if you see the address you can select it, but if not, you can continue entering all the required fields until the address is complete. You'll see the preview of the address below so you can see what it looks like and know when you're done. Again, you only have to complete the required fields with the red dots next to each of them. Once it's completed, press Next, and you'll be brought to the Residency Verification menu. To complete this process, you'll need 3 proofs of residency that you will upload to the system. We'll ask you if you can provide 3 types from these categories, and if you can, you'll use the drop-down arrow to select yes, and if you cannot, you'll select no. Depending on what you select will change which menus appear in the next steps. Depending on what you select, so for instance if you select no, the menu below will look different than if you selected yes. The instructions will be listed on the screen and very specific what you need to do to complete it. So take a moment to read over all your options, as these might look different depending on what you selected above. We'll switch the option back to yes since we can provide these types of proofs regarding our residency. You will notice instructions on each type of proof you need to have and what the file name needs to specifically be. Once you've uploaded all your documents that you'll be using to prove your residency, you can go step by step to upload them. You'll click on the blue button to upload, and then locate wherever you've saved your proofs and begin uploading them. Each one will need to be uploaded individually, clicking on the blue category button and then choosing the file. Once you finish uploading your files, you can go ahead and press Next, and you'll have a few more questions about your address and where you live. You'll be prompted to choose whether or not you live in a subdivision, and if not, we'll simply need cross streets of the closest main intersection. Once you're done, you can go ahead and press Next. Depending on which schools you've chosen to do residency verification for, you may have some extra information you need to enter. Anything with the red dot is a required field you must complete. So if you still have information to enter, go ahead and finish up, and then you can go through the menus by pressing Next, and then when finished, click on Save and Continue. If you need, you can pause this video and pick back up when you've completed this section. Once you've finished all the required fields, you can go ahead and click on Save and Continue, and this will bring us to the next main menu. This is where you'll need to verify the parent or legal guardian who has legal custody over the student. Anything that needs to be edited or reviewed you'll notice is highlighted in yellow, so click on the blue Edit and Review button and begin going through the menus. Many of the fields will be pre-populated with the information from the first menu where you filled out your name and contact information. Should anything need to be changed or updated, you can use the drop-down arrows to complete that process, such as marital status and who has legal custody of the student in the household. Each time you finish a menu, you can go ahead and click on Next to proceed to the next menu. For the contact information, you can update the phone number as needed or enter in any new information that has to be filled out. Again, anything with the red dots is required fields that has to be filled out. Once you verify that all the information is correct, you can proceed to the next part by clicking on the Next button. After you read over the next menu that deals with military connections and active service, choose the option from the drop-down that best fits your situation. Once you've completed this, you can click on Save and Continue, and you'll now notice that the menu has been updated and is no longer yellow. We can go to the next section, which will deal with emergency contacts. Again, the information has to be reviewed since it's in yellow, so click on the blue button to begin. This information is for emergency contacts. These are non-parent or guardians who should be contacted if the parent or guardian cannot be reached in case of emergency. Click through each menu and make sure that the information is accurate. Add any information that is needed, and if anything needs to be updated, make sure you check the boxes to be able to update it. If it's correct, press Save and Continue, and now that contact has been reviewed and is no longer yellow. We can click on Save and Continue to go to the next section. On the next menu, we notice the students whose verification needs to be edited or reviewed by noticing they're both highlighted yellow like the previous menus. To begin, click on either Student's Edit and Review button, and you'll be prompted for the first menu where you'll need to update or verify some of the information regarding student demographics. For instance, birth city is blank but still a required field, so we need to enter the city which this student was born in. Once we've completed that, we can select the district that this student will be part of. Since this is our high school student, we'll select Lockport D205, and the enrollment grade will automatically be entered. On the next menu, you'll notice that some things are grayed out, so you're just looking to verify those, and if they are incorrect, you should contact the registrar at the building to update it. In the field for legal custody, simply use the drop-down menu to choose which applies to your situation, and press Next. Once you reach the part with your own information, this should match what you filled out in the previous menus. You can choose which contact sequence you'd like to be if there's more than one parent or guardian, as well as what type of messaging should be sent there. The emergency contact is from when we previously filled out the information, and the contact sequence should be in which order they should be contacted after the parent or guardian. For health information, they're not required fields, but if you have the information, you can enter it, as well as downloading any forms you may need to turn into the school. Each menu should be reviewed thoroughly, and then when completed, simply press Next. Both D91 and D205 have release agreements here that you will need to read through and checkmark each of the required fields, or any of the optional fields depending on which school you're registering for. Once completed, you will sign the bottom with the mouse, and then press Save and Continue at the bottom of the menu. If you only have one student or you've completed the verification and all of your fields are no longer yellow, you can click on Save and Continue and proceed to the next menu. Since we still have one student, we'll go and complete that verification now by clicking on the blue Edit and Review button. Many of the fields you'll notice are going to be quite similar. Some will be different. For instance, birth city is empty again, so we should enter this information regarding this student. Once we have it entered, we need to select the district they'll be attending. Since this is our middle schooler, we'll choose Lockport District D91. The rest of the information should be auto-filled. Pressing Next, we enter into the similar menus we've seen before. Each school has required fields that need to be entered and may be different depending on which district you're working with. Just make sure to go through each menu by using the Next button and reading all the information on that page, and then filling out anything that's required. We know it's required again by the little red dot located by the question or the drop-down menu. Some of D91's pages allow you to upload information that you may currently have for your student. You can complete that at these parts. Again, each school has their own unique release agreements, so make sure you read through them carefully to know what you have to check and what can be left blank. You can then type your name in at the bottom to finish the process and press save and continue. Now that both of our students are finished with the green check mark and are no longer highlighted, we can press save and continue to come to the final part of our menu. It's not a bad idea to click on the Application Summary PDF to review all the information you've just verified regarding your residency. A new window will open with a PDF summary of all the information we've gone over in our menus. You can scroll through them and verify that everything is correct, because once you submit this information, you won't be able to change it without contacting the registrar at each building. If the information is correct, press Submit, and you'll be asked to confirm one last time. Once you've pressed confirm, the process has been completed and the online residency verification is done. If you have any problems in this process or need any assistance with this, feel free to reach out to the registrar at the appropriate building regarding which school you're trying to complete online residency verification for.